Meaning of aggregate turnover. Aggregate turnover as per section 2 subsection 6 of CGST Act 2017. Aggregate turnover means the aggregate value of all taxable supply, exempt supply, export of goods or services or both, and an interstate supply of person having same permanent account number to be computed on all India basis, but exclude central tax, state tax, union territory tax, integrated tax and cess. And one more thing that is to be excluded, the inward supplies on which tax is payable by a person on reverse charge basis. Now formula for calculating aggregate turnover. So if you apply this formula, then you will get the answer of aggregate turnover. Number 1, taxable supply. Into that you have to add exempted supply, then again add nil rated supply, then zero rated supply, and then non-taxable supplies. So these things you have to add it. And what is to be excluded? All types of taxes, that is CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST, compensation cess under GST should be excluded. And one more thing that is to be excluded, all inward supply under reverse charge of a person having same PAN permanent account number across all his business entities in India. So whenever you want to find out aggregate turnover, you can apply this formula so that you will get the answer of aggregate turnover. Other relevant points that is to be considered while calculating aggregate turnover. First one, supplies on behalf of principal to be included. So if there is a supplied by agent on behalf of a principal, then it will be added into the turnover of agent. Let us understand with the help of one example. Mr. P is a principal. He supplies goods or services to Mr. A agent. Now Mr. A sells same goods to the customer. So now it will be added into the aggregate turnover of Mr. A. Why? Because Mr. A has been selling this product on behalf of the principal. So that is why it will be added into the aggregate turnover of Mr. A agent and not into the aggregate turnover of the principal. Now next point that is to be considered while calculating aggregate turnover, that is not included in the turnover of job worker. Let us take one example. Mr. P supplies goods or services to Mr. J, registered job worker. Then it will be added or included in the aggregate turnover of Mr. P, that is principal. Why? Because Mr. J is a registered job worker and Mr. P, that is principal, has sent this to Mr. J for getting further work done on it. After completion of job work, the goods were sold directly from the place of job worker, that is Mr. J. So that is why the value of such goods shall be included into the aggregate turnover of Mr. P, principal, and not in the aggregate turnover of Mr. J, registered job worker. So that point you have to keep in mind. So it will be added into the aggregate turnover of Mr. J, registered job worker. Turnover of all the branches with the same PAN. Let us take one example. Mr. S has two offices, one at Delhi, another at Faridabad. Now from these two offices, both the business place taken into consideration for deciding aggregate turnover. यानी आपको जब aggregate turnover डिसाइड कर रहे हो तो भले वो दोनों अलग अलग, एक यूटी में है और एक स्टेट में है, फिर भी आपको दोनों प्लेसेस का टर्नओवर प्लस करने का, एंड देन यू हैव टू डिसाइड योर एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर. So once again I am repeating, in order to determine whether the entity is liable for registration turnover of both the business places would be taken into account. Relevance of aggregate turnover. Aggregate turnover is very related and it is very helpful for determining the obligation of registration, whether a person is liable for registration or not. How to decide it? It is decided on the basis of aggregate turnover. If he crosses the threshold limit, if its aggregate turnover limit is crossing the threshold limit, then he is liable for registration. And if its aggregate turnover limit is not crossing the threshold limit, then he is not liable for registration. So that is why aggregate turnover is very helpful. The next point, that is to decide person is eligible for composition scheme or alternate composition scheme, that is to be decided on the basis of aggregate turnover. So first of all we have to decide aggregate turnover, and if it is crossing 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, then he is not eligible for composition scheme. And same way, if their turnover is less than 1.5 crore and in some special cases less than 75 lakhs, then he is eligible for composition scheme, or in alternate composition scheme limit is different, it is 50 lakh. So that is why we can say that importance of aggregate turnover is very high. Now next point, difference between aggregate turnover and turnover in a state. The aggregate turnover is different from turnover in state. The former, that is means first one, aggregate turnover, is used for determining the threshold limit for GST registration as well as eligibility for composition scheme. So whether person is liable for registration, person is eligible for composition scheme, that is decided on the basis of aggregate turnover. However, the composition levy would be calculated on the basis of turnover in a state. So composition levy, that means टैक्स डिसाइड करना है तो पर्टिकुलर स्टेट का ही देखा जाता है. जैसे हम जब भी एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर करते हैं तो सेम पेन पे अलग अलग स्टेट का टर्नओवर हम प्लस कर रहे हैं, बट जब कंपोजिशन लेवी हम पे करना है, जीएसटी पे करना है, तो अलग अलग स्टेट का अलग अलग कैलकुलेशन करके उस पे ही उसी स्टेट में कंपोजिशन लेवी पे करना है. So that is why two are different things. So whenever we are talking about aggregate turnover, that means ऑल इंडिया बेसिस पे सेम पेन पे जितना भी टर्नओवर है वो प्लस करने का, बट जो कंपोजिशन लेवी भरने की बारी आ रही है तो पर्टिकुलर स्टेट का ही हमें कंसीडर करना है. जैसे स्टेट 1 में टर्नओवर है 20 लाख, स्टेट 2 में 25 लाख है, तो स्टेट 1 का 20 लाख पे कंपोजिशन लेवी लगेगा और स्टेट 2 में 25 लाख पे कंपोजिशन लेवी लगेगा. Let us understand the concept of aggregate turnover with the help of one example. Mr. X is living in Gujarat, is a trader of goods. On the same pen, he has a branch in Maharashtra. The details of his sale, excluding GST, for the financial year 2020-21 is as follows. Sale of taxable goods from Gujarat is rupees 15 lakh. It is a sale of taxable good. So now it is to be included. So आपको ये सोचना है कि whether it is included or not. Then sale of goods from Gujarat to Maharashtra branch is rupees 5 lakh. It is to be included. Why? Because it is a sale of goods from Gujarat to Maharashtra branch. It is a transfer and person is having same pen. So that is why it is to be included. Sale of exempted goods from Maharashtra is rupees 15 lakh. So whenever you are calculating aggregate turnover, exempted goods is also included. So 15 lakh will also be included while deciding aggregate turnover. Export of goods from Gujarat is rupees 5 lakh. So that is also to be included. Sale of non-taxable goods from Maharashtra is rupees 5 lakh. That is to be included in the aggregate turnover. Then CGST on the above sale is rupees 2 lakh. Now this is a tax that is not to be included. See, SGST on above sale is rupees 2 lakh. That is also not to be included. IGST on above sale is rupees 3 lakh. It is also not to be included. GST compensation sales on above sale is rupees 1 lakh. So all types of taxes are not included while calculating aggregate turnover. Inward supply liable to reverse charge is rupees 1.5 lakhs. So in this case, this inward supply is also not included while deciding aggregate turnover. Now in this aggregate turnover is 45 lakh, that is 15 lakh plus 5 lakh plus 15 lakh plus 5 lakh plus 5 lakh, and Mr. X is liable to get registered in Gujarat and Maharashtra since his aggregate turnover exceed the threshold limit of rupees 40 lakh. So उसका टर्नओवर 45 लाख है, जो 40 लाख की जो लिमिट है, क्योंकि वो गुड्स गुजरात में सेल कर रहा है और सिर्फ गुड्स का ही बिजनेस कर रहा है और इसीलिए उसका लिमिट है 40 लाख और वो लिमिट से ज़्यादा है और दैट इज वाई उसको रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना कंपलसरी हो जाएगा. Here 2-3 points you have to keep in mind. GST on the sale amounting to rupees 2 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh and 1 lakh. Value of inward supply amounting to rupees 1.5 lakh are not taken into consideration for the purpose of calculation of aggregate turnover because this falls in the exclusion. So all types of taxes and inward supplies amounting to rupees 1.5 lakh are not to be taken into consideration while deciding aggregate turnover. And sale of goods from Gujarat to Maharashtra branch is included since as per section 25 subsection 4 of CGST Act 2017 both are distinct person in the eyes of law. Now next one, last point, that is for the purpose of aggregate turnover, sale of both Maharashtra and Gujarat branch are taken into consideration since aggregate turnover requires to be calculated on PAN basis. So that is why we can calculate in this way, we can calculate the aggregate turnover. Thanks for watching my video. Do like and subscribe my YouTube channel.